Now, up to 3 staff at the private hospital where the Princess of Wales had surgery are being investigated for allegedly accessing her medical records. That was claimed yesterday.
Well, if found to have accessed such records, staff at the London clinic could face enforcement action, including fines and prosecutions. Now, the police are thought to be looking into the accusations. Well, we're joined now by royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Good morning, Kins. What do we know about the investigation as it stands?
Well, we do know that these they attempted to access these records between January 16th and January 29th. According to the Daily Mail, they don't believe that either one of these 3 individuals that have been suspended did actually gain access to Catherine's records. So we do believe that they are still safe. The CEO of the London clinic said, we have systems in place to monitor management of patient information. So I imagine that maybe it's a password you have to put in. Maybe you have to swipe something. Is that how they figured out that these individuals were trying to gain access to that? But he also said that they vowed all appropriate investigatory, regulatory, and disciplinary steps will be taken as they continue with this investigation. Interestingly enough, no one tried to access the King's, who had his surgery around the same time that the Princess of Wales had hers at the exact same clinic.
It just goes to show, and there's a great article from Piers Morgan in The Sun this morning talking about how, and I thought it was interesting because I was reading it, I was thinking, yes, he's right. He said, in America, the levels of interest in Catherine, he said, I haven't seen that sort of interest. Hysteria around Kate proves she's our crown jewel. I haven't seen this since Diana, and we all know how tragically that ended. He said it's literally off the scale. I guess you'd back that up, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to say something a little controversial here. When the palace was approached to comment on this story, they said that's an issue for the London clinic. You know, wiping their hands of it, they don't want to go into it. They don't want to discuss it. But it really feels like there are 2 households. There's Clarence House / Buckingham Palace. There is Kensington Palace. And, you know, when the Prince and Princess of Wales go out for an engagement, they only post about their engagement. They might wish someone a happy birthday, but they stick to their own stuff. The King and Queen Consort stick to their own content. Maybe you'll see something from Prince Edward, but they don't look unified right now. It does not look like, you know, other members of the royal family are rallying around the Princess of Wales and supporting her.
Well, one thing we knew from the Diana days, Kins, just very quickly, and I was going to say this yesterday, there will be jealousy between the households, and however united King Charles wants the monarchy to be, there were many people in royal circles within the royal family who hated how popular Diana was with the average person in the street. They hated it. Whatever they admit now, they did, which is why William has always had this thing. I suspect the same has happened. They're preparing to take over Charles and... I mean, I like to think Charles and William are close, but at the end of the day, they've probably got different, I don't know, itineraries, different thoughts, different charities. I don't know. I think it's an interesting moment, though, for the monarchy. I really do, as a royalist.
Yeah, I think that they need to look more unified right now, and they don't. And I'd like to see more support for the Princess of Wales. But you're absolutely right. America is glued to this story. I'm up working around the clock talking about it here in the States. And someone did ask me if I felt like Prince William was not taking his responsibility seriously or not doing everything he could to support the Queen. Or the King. And I said, no, I felt like Queen Consort Camilla was having a hero moment and really enjoyed taking on all of these additional duties and enjoyed the positive reaction she's getting from the public.
What do you make of the fact that William hasn't really made a public statement, like an official public statement about any of this, Kinsey? I think there's some talk, certainly amongst people that I talk to anyway, in this industry, who say that they wish that he had come out and defended his wife's use of that Photoshop, considering he took the photograph.
I agree with
and
that.
Actually spoken more publicly. And because I feel like if maybe William had come out and said, please, can we stop the speculation?
Yes.
I want to protect my wife, similar to the way that Harry did about Meghan, then maybe that would, you know...
All he said was, I wish she was with me, didn't he, on an engagement? It's a really good point.
He hasn't made an official sort of statement on the matter, has he?
I wish he would too. I do think he's trying to do it subtly through comments like, you know, my wife needs to be here. Or he joked the other day and said, well, she's the creative one, right after the Photoshop incident. And people put two and two together and said, surely he's making a joke out of the fact that she's maybe not very Photoshop savvy. But I do wish that he would say something. We did hear in that Times article that he felt like he was seeing what happened with his mother happen with his wife. So maybe he's speaking through his friends, and that's what he's comfortable doing right now. But, you know, I feel really sympathetic towards her, especially after this attempted breach.
Sorry to cut you off, Kinsey. We've run out of time, but thank you so
Thank
much for
you so
talking to
much.
us this morning.